In a tense courtroom showdown filled with grief, betrayal, and buried truths, a grandmother who's raised her 9-year-old granddaughter since birth fights to protect her from a mother she barely knows, one with a history of drugs, deception, and abandonment. After the sudden death of the child's father, the estranged mother storms in with police to claim custody, igniting a bitter legal battle. As secrets unravel and harsh realities surface, the judge delivers a powerful verdict that leaves the courtroom stunned and the mother speechless. Who truly deserves custody? The woman with a past or the one who's been there all along?
Ms. Franklin, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge Vandam. My son was killed 3 months ago. I have a granddaughter that's 9 years old. I've had custody of her since she was a baby. After his death and funeral, Kim decides she wants to come to my house and remove her. Brought the police to my house.
After the funeral?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. She did that. As traumatic as it was for me and my family, she decided to remove Rakisha with the police, caused a scene, which she's done in the past. I'm here today for grandparents' rights. I've had my granddaughter since she was a baby. She doesn't even know who this lady is. She knows that she's her mother, but as far as knowing who she is, and with her lengthy past,
when you say lengthy past, what do you mean by that?
Drugs, drinking, fighting, beating the system.
Beating the system?
Yes.
How did she do that?
Welfare, stamps, housing, anything that's not legal, she's done.
But Rakisha, I said her name right?
Yes, Your Honor.
She lives with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And prior to your son's death, did your son live with you too, or was Rakisha just living with you?
Only Rakisha, absolutely not. He could not live with me.
I understand.
But
so how was she getting benefits if her daughter lived with you?
Because, as I mentioned earlier, both of them love to beat the system, and they used my grandchild against me and my husband just so that they can continue to beat the system. I did put my son on child support. That I absolutely did.
And now you're wanting child support from mom?
I want child support and full custody of my granddaughter.
Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
Oh, absolutely, yes. When she brought the police to my house, she told them that I threatened her, and she threatened to kill me. I said, absolutely not, Your Honor. What I told her when she called, I told her, I said, you know what? If you come over here, I'm not going to be in control. Smith and Weston going to be in control.
Oh, well, it didn't get that far, did it?
Well, it didn't, because the police drug her from my front yard.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry for your loss as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need me to know before I move over to her?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I didn't catch your last name. I just heard your first name is Kim.
That's what I want to say. I'm a fan. It's Kim Bourgeois.
Bourgeois.
Yes.
How do you spell it?
Boudure.
Oh, okay. Is that French?
Yes.
Okay. Well, can I call you Lady B?
Yes.
I think
you can
I'll
call
butcher
me Kim. You can call
Kim.
me
Okay.
Kim.
I think I'll butcher that last name too much.
Okay.
So, is all of what she's saying true? You had a history with drugs, drinking. She said you're cheating the system, getting welfare. What it sounds like is that your daughter has been living with her this entire time. So, is what she's saying true?
The whole thing is the past, you know.
So it is true. The answer is yes.
Some of it is, yeah.
Okay, which part of it is true?
As far as maybe some of the illegal drug activity that her son and I both partake in, you know.
In this emotional and complex custody case, Ms. Franklin, a grieving grandmother, brings the matter before the court following the tragic death of her son 3 months earlier. She has had custody of her 9-year-old granddaughter, Rakisha, since infancy. After the funeral of her son, the child's biological mother, Kim Boudreau, attempted to forcibly remove the child from Ms. Franklin's home with the help of the police, causing emotional turmoil and disruption. Ms. Franklin explains to the judge that her granddaughter has been in her stable care since birth and barely knows Kim beyond the knowledge that she is her biological mother. According to Ms. Franklin, Kim has a long and troubled past filled with drug abuse, excessive drinking, physical altercations, and a pattern of exploiting the welfare system, including benefits like food stamps and housing, allegedly through dishonest means. This behavior, Ms. Franklin says, made her unfit to parent the child. And she further explains that even before her son's death, he could not live with her due to instability and dysfunction in their lives. Ms. Franklin accuses both her late son and Kim of manipulating the system for financial gain using her granddaughter. She admits to putting her son on child support in the past and now seeks both full legal custody of the child and child support payments from Kim, claiming that despite Kim's claims of financial stability, she has not contributed anything meaningful towards the child's upbringing. When the judge turns to Kim for her side of the story, Kim admits to a troubled past.
No, some of that is true, but as far as the food stamps and all that, it's not. She's just going by hearsay, by what people are telling her, just using that in this case. As I stated, as she stated, as far as coming to get my kids, with the police and stuff, that's true. Because I need Rakisha, to come and be with her mom. She's getting older, and so is she, So
That wasn't nice. She's been taking care of your daughter. So what difference would it make if she's getting older?
She has been, again, all these words are past tense. It's 2022, and it's time for my daughter to come home with me.
But she hasn't lived with you.
She hasn't, because I was working on my career and getting myself together so I can be the mom that I need to be. And I've done that. And unfortunately, Ricky passed, rest his soul. And it's time for my daughter to come home with her mother. I'm not the woman that I used to be, Your Honor.
All right. But you are still the woman she doesn't know, your daughter, right?
Well, actually, and she doesn't know that, I've been talking to Rakisha for about 4 or 5 months now.
Talking to her about what?
Talking to her, letting her know, first of all, reaching out, letting her know that it's unfortunate that our dad passed, and letting her know that I want us to get our relationship together. I want to be the nurturing mother that she needs.
So as of right now, you're a stranger, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say strangers.
Well, it's not necessarily what you want to say, it's what the facts say. You're a stranger to this child that you came and attempted to remove from her caretaker. Right?
She's been taking care of her, yes, and I commend her for that. But my daughter needs to be with her mother.
All right, but you do understand that your daughter needs to be in an environment that's stable, where she is familiar with the person that is taking care of her.
She has to get familiar with her. I am working. I make good money. I've been paying insurance, so it's not like I've been totally out the picture.
Let's talk about that. How much money do you make?
About
$70,000. How much, you say insurance as well?
Yes, I pay $170 a month.
All right. How much of that have you given to grandmother? And it's not a hard question if you've actually done anything.
Well, I can say none then. Let's just be done with it. None.
So you make all of this money and you haven't given grandmother anything for your daughter?
Well, her dad has been taking her the child support and everything up until this point.
Right, but what were you doing?
I was paying the insurance.
So you were paying the insurance, your daughter living with someone else.
Well, she the one wanted to raise her.
But ma'am, it is your daughter.
It's my daughter. I paid the insurance. She wanted a raise her. The dad did the child support. We all just did our part.
You obviously came here to waste my time.
Not really.
It sounds like you're trying to evade the obligation of paying child support or paying any type of financial support for this child because you want to do what you want to do. Insurance is not sufficient, ma'am. Grandmother can pay insurance if she needed to, but she can't do it without a modification to your court order. That's the reason she's here.
So can my daughter go home with me?
Including involvement with drugs, but insists that those issues are behind her. She confirms that she has recently reconnected with her daughter and wants to rebuild their relationship. Kim contends that she now has a stable life, earning approximately $70,000 per year and paying for her daughter's insurance, though she has not contributed any direct financial support to Ms. Franklin. She claims the child should now return to her biological mother, arguing that it is time for her daughter to be raised by her rightful parent. However, the judge points out that while Kim may have improved her personal situation, the child has never lived with her and does not know her well enough to be suddenly uprooted from her familiar environment. The judge makes it clear that the child's emotional stability and best interests come first, and it would be harmful to remove her from the only caregiver she's known. Kim's financial claims are also scrutinized. Despite her decent income, she admits to providing no direct financial support for her daughter, leading the judge to conclude she has been evading her parental responsibilities. As the proceedings continue, Ms. Franklin accuses Kim of not only lying but also having 3 other children by 3 different men, none of whom she currently supports beyond providing health insurance. Kim reluctantly admits to having other children, who are all living with their respective fathers or paternal families.
No, she cannot. She is going to stay and remain with the person who's always taking care of her. You haven't said anything different to support that grandmother has not been doing the job you should have been doing. So what we're going to do is, based on your own testimony, and I believe you told the truth.
I did.
$70,000 a year, and that's giving you credit with the $170 health insurance. Your gross is $5,663. That brings your net to $4,613. You have 1 child, correct?
Yes.
All right, 20% of that brings your monthly child support obligation to $923. And as I stated, you are still to maintain the health insurance.
That's over $1,000.
And no, not. It's under $1,000.
So 9 something plus the 170?
No, you got credit. The 170 was given in your gross, so you got credit for that. $923 a month. It's what's fair. It's what's in the best interest of your daughter. Your daughter is going to remain with her grandmother.
So,
anything else? You had a question?
I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Oh, you might want to do that, especially if it was something inappropriate. All right, anything further pertaining to this case?
That's it, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Franklin?
Yes, Your Honor. This lady just sit here and perjured the court. She has 3 other children that lives with 3 other different daddies.
Oh, wow.
And she had more miles on her than Route 1604.
Well, Ms. Franklin, hold on one second. Do you have other children?
Yes.
So why didn't you say that?
Because, you know, unfortunately, like Rakisha, they live with their dads in their other side of the family. So.
Are you paying child support for them as well? No. Oh, so you're just not doing anything.
I'm paying insurance for them too.
Oh, right. So beyond insurance, you haven't done anything for them. Is that what I'm hearing? How many other children do you have? So you have 3 other children. We have to manipulate your child support amount. Oh.
So it should be lower.
Let's see how much lower it'll be. All right. Your child support is lower. It went to $680.
Oh, should have kept your mouth shut.
No, you know, first of all, that was rude. Secondly, she's being honest. You are not being honest. But that's okay. You don't have to be honest with me, because you know what? One day you're going to have to answer to each of your children. And that is going to be your battle to fight with them.
Well, at least they'll know I took care of them by paying their insurance.
Oh, and they'll also know you're a stranger. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The judge is visibly disappointed by Kim's lack of accountability and attempts to sidestep her responsibilities. Due to her additional dependence, the judge recalculates and slightly lowers her child support obligations from $923 to $680 per month. This recalculation is not seen as a favor, but rather as a legal adjustment based on her circumstances. The judge firmly asserts that insurance payments alone do not equate to proper parenting and that financial support means more than covering medical costs. She warns Kim that while she may have dodged deeper legal consequences in court, she will ultimately have to answer to her children for her absence in their lives. Kim's dismissive and defensive tone throughout the case, including attempting to justify her lack of support with claims like "I paid the insurance," is harshly criticized by the judge. In the end, the court grants full custody to Ms. Franklin, recognizing her as the consistent and primary caregiver of Rakesha. The judge emphasizes the child's need for stability, emotional safety, and familiarity, elements clearly provided by Ms. Franklin. Kim's sudden re-entry into her daughter's life, after years of absence and questionable behavior, is not seen as sufficient justification to upend the child's life, especially when she failed to provide any ongoing financial or emotional support. The judge orders Kim to pay $680 per month in child support, grants Ms. Franklin legal custody, and instructs both parties to refrain from further conflict in front of the child. She closes the case by reminding Kim that while she may see this as a legal loss, the real battle lies ahead. One of rebuilding relationships with her children and proving through actions, not words, that she is the mother they need. Ms. Franklin, while visibly frustrated by the process and Kim's behavior, walks away with the peace of knowing that her granddaughter remains in the environment where she feels loved and protected. This case ultimately underscores the court's responsibility to prioritize the welfare of the child above all else, regardless of biological ties, and serves as a lesson in accountability, maturity, and the meaning of real parenting.